Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2. Allow me to introduce the 7-time GSL champion, the Terran player in the blue. It's the man, the myth, the Maru. But his nemesis, Protoss on the opposite side. We've seen them face so many times. The best Protoss player in Korea, and arguably the world. It's the smiling assassin. It's hero. Best-of-5. Terran versus Protoss. And yet again, hero stands in Maru's way, as he has so many times, especially in that GSL, stopping him from getting the 5th championship that eluded him for a couple of years as well. Some of the most dramatic times in the global StarCraft League. And if you want Hero to stop him one more time, I'll just ask one thing from you. To like and subscribe. And Jimmy, what are we? 1,217 likes on this video, on this cast, on this rematch for the 100th time. And I'll cast another series. I'll probably do it anyways. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a good day so far. And hopefully this showdown will make it a little bit better. Starting things off on Radisson Station. The map known for essentially either creating build order victories or dramatic late games. And very little in between, because you got your 3 bases kind of locked down. A pocket base in the back, vulnerable to air, warp prism, Stargate, medevacs, but very hard to attack on the ground. The only way, really, is up this ramp that Hero has already semi-walled off with Stalkers and Sentries. And, well, of course, medevacs are going to ignore it, as are the Phoenixes. But once we get to that established 3-base timing, where both players have a pretty comfortable economy and good defense, you're unlikely to be breaking through there. Is that a Cyclone drop? Okay, Maru. Alright. Gonna try the Cyclone drops. Actually incredibly effective against probes. Kills it so quick. But Maru gonna get shut down here. And it looks like a Stalker out on the map as well. Yeah, the Phoenixes will chase it. Drops the Cyclone out. Should be able to pick it up. Wants to take out the medevac first. Puts the Cyclone back in the air, but not in the cozy arms of the medevac. Instead, with the Stalker to take it down. A big win. Oh, what? A big win for Hero to start, but there was a recall of Phoenixes back home. I believe I heard the recall. Yeah, the Phoenixes were sent back. The scouting Elliot will get shut down. Phoenixes coming in from a bit of a weird angle there. Nothing to really exploit for Maru, but a bit of a saucy start. Maru, a half-hearted attempt at getting some damage done. And it doesn't really find much. He loses the medevac, he loses the Cyclone, and loses a bit of my respect. Because that was never going to really do anything. If he had any units, the Cyclone was going to get shut down. But Phoenixes come in, and now there's very limited anti-air to deal with this. 4 SCVs down right off the bat. 3rd command center's on the way. Hero building his 3rd Nexus at that pocket base as well. Phoenixes sliding on by. Cyclone locks on. And takes some pot shots at the Phoenix, but Maru is pretty much pinned back in his base for now. He lost everything. He lost his early medevac, his early Cyclone. That's a lot of the time on your factory, on your starport. He's sending out a Raven. This Raven is on a suicide mission. The Phoenixes will come back and they will kill it, but will they kill enough? Oh, Maru. Well, double turret. He's going to target some probes. A bit of a late reaction out of Hero means he'll get three probes, but the Phoenixes are going to hunt it down and say, nevermore, Mr. Raven. That's enough. Well, 3 kills for a Raven does not seem... yeah. I don't love it. I don't even like it. Okay. In fact, I barely tolerate it, but I must commentate at the end of the day. Maru throwing things out there. Now, it's not like Hero can capitalize on the situation because of the reasons we talked about earlier. And by we talked about, I mean I talked at you, but you know how it goes. You just can't attack on this map. Maybe a warp prism, occasionally a mothership recall, but Maru already has multiple siege tanks, a bunker set up in like an entrenched position further back, making it that much harder. Very cinematic looking bunker there. And the Hero, instead of trying to end the game and capitalize on killing those early units. He's going straight into, I want to say carriers. Would make the most sense here. Tempests are more of a late game option, especially when you're up against mass starport, but very likely carriers to start. Already getting +1 air weapons before a forge is even completed for the ground. So hero rushing carriers, whereas Maru's sitting back and building siege tanks, which are not a great counter to carriers overall, in my opinion. Mostly because they don't shoot up, and they could have been Widow Mines to help. But yeah, 2 carriers on the way. So that means Maru has no idea that this is going on. Two carriers probably not enough to do deadly damage, but 4 carriers unprepared for, especially now that he's seeing those Colossi. The only downside of showing the Colossi is he might start building Vikings, and indeed Maru does. The Vikings also a pretty solid counter to the carriers themselves. So almost somewhat accidentally starting to build the counter to what hero's doing. The Mass Viking is the answer right up until you get Storm or... mostly Storm, really. Phoenixes are pretty good, but Storm is usually the best choice. Yeah, hallucinated Phoenixes. He knows they're not real. Takes out the Observer as well, does Maru. He's got... Oh, now wishing they were real. Couple Vikings on the way. 2 command centers in production for Maru. So he's going to see everything. Heroes. Mothership. A scan for Maru will spot the mothership. He doesn't have the little icon, of course, but he sees a carrier producing and a mothership building in the Nexus. So Maru's built up quite a sizable army here and is looking to head out with it. And by that I mean he sieges up and establishes his 4th base while building 2 more starports, as well as a fusion core. That fusion core, I think, is for battlecruisers. Because advanced ballistics at this stage, not that relevant. He has no liberators. You know what? Credit where credit's due. Fusion! Yeah. Core! I'm not confident that's for battlecruisers, but it would be odd if he doesn't go that direction. So we will see, with more starports on the way. This is his opportunity. Lay down the tech labs, Maru. Give the people 2 tech labs. Battle cruisers, it is. All right, Maru. Meanwhile, though, there are already 4 carriers out, and while battle cruisers have the highest base armor in the game at 3, which negates a lot of the potential interceptor damage, at the same time, a hero's going to have +2 air weapons and Storm on the way, so a lot of opportunity. On top of the fact that, since he already has the fleet beacon, he has the ability to build Tempests immediately, if he's able to scout this. But so far, besides Maru throwing all those early game units at him, we've got a passive follow-up to it. 4 turrets, a perimeter is being built. 2 battle cruisers in production for Maru. Ready to call in the fleet. 6 carriers have arrived. Mothership, Size Storm in the Prism. I said this was either the early build order win or the full-on late game, and, well, here we are. Only 11 minutes in, and both players are working on +3 battle cruisers and carriers. So certainly a later game indeed. Hero looking to move out. Maybe use the mothership. He's nearly maxed out, so at this point, there's not much else to really fill in. +3 air weapons, +2 ground on the way. We got 3 command centers for Maru. He's actually picking up a drop here. Hero, he has almost nothing to defend. 2 cannons can be easily dealt with Static defense is more for buying time than for being a direct counter to anything at this stage of the game. Goes for the battery. Stims through. Will take out the cannons. This will buy the time he needs to bring some of those units back. The mothership in a precarious position here. Oh, 13, 15 probes. A storm. Going to help kill some of them. Trying to pick up... the medevac barely gets away. And another carrier will pop out and clean it up. The mothership was looking for a recall opportunity, but didn't end up finding it. Marauder cleaned up in the main. hero actually ended up bringing most of his armada back home here. The battle cruisers have yet to be revealed. So Maru, +3 ship weapons is on the way. Air weapons for hero. +1 plating, kind of importantly, is done. Yamato cannon. He forgot Yamato cannon. And I think that is that's just a straight up mistake. Having Yamato, he has 4 battle cruisers. He's going to have 6. No Yamato to be able to wipe out part of this army almost immediately. I think it only takes, is it 2 or 3 Yamatos now? 240. I think 3 Yamatos barely on the mothership. The pylon targeted, most of it depowered. And a recall onto the base here. Maru lost a base of his own. The ground army, for the most part, the storm prism brought with it. Oh my. Well, he's trying to stutter step down a pylon. The pylon stands stoically, as is really its only option. But not having that Yamato, it's still only halfway done. That's actually a huge deal going into this fight. The battlecruisers are heading out to the south side. They can always jump back in. They each got a mini recall on each of those reactors. On a shorter cooldown as well. How convenient. But here comes hero. Yep. Maru sees it. The battlecruisers are revealed. Remember, recall was already used. There's still 30+ seconds on the next potential cooldown. So hero's just gonna go. Trying to break his way through. The sentries on the front line just throws a hallucinated Colossus in there. The battlecruisers jump back home. Right into the fray here. The battlecruiser's on top of everything. Storms on the Vikings. He's able to dodge for now. Maybe one more storm. No more storms. The Vikings are going to take it down. Yamato cannon about to complete, but the Vikings managed to avoid the storms. And now are working their way through. Yamato knocks out another carrier. And Maru, with enough Vikings left over, lines up more massive cannons. Oh, if he had them right off the bat, this would have been a decisive victory for the Korean Terran. But instead, a narrow one at best. The carriers will be taken down. Maru, it's about even. He gets a mothership, but loses 17 Vikings and 6 battlecruisers. He had to jump the battlecruisers back home, which means that now hero, there's not that much on the ground to deal with this. Maru jumping away. Hero looking to target down the cruisers. The repair is good. And just switching to blink stalkers here. There's not much of a ground army for Maru, and there are carriers behind. The Yamato cannons lined up, trying to fight the carriers outright. The ground army is being dealt with. The Vikings can help out on the ground. Down goes another battlecruiser. The Marauder count, a few more coming out of the barracks here. He's going to have to drop those Vikings down. Fires a Yamato, hits the Immortal. It actually tanks the hit for now, but another shot will knock it out. Maru losing a key base here in his fort. Hero just leaning on him. The gold base. Maru scanning across the board. A surprising amount of scans as he loses more and more orbitals. Maru is starting to really dip heavily on supply. Looking to intercept some of the carriers on the way across the map, but the stalker count is so damn high. The Vikings can't pick a target. No, the wrong... Gets one. Might get 2 more carriers, but hero has the income right now. He just took out 2 of Maru's bases. And the orbital will be taken out as well. 29 SCVs. Maru was limping after that fight with the battlecruisers. And now he's running out of gas entirely. Minerals too. Hero is... he was able to refill far too quickly. That Yamato cannon Oh no! And having the battlecruisers on the other side of the map having the tactical jump home, and even then not really having the cannons lined up. hero had been building up that armada for much of the game. And now Maru's forced to pull the boys at this late stage. There's a battlecruiser on the back line. He holds with the Marines and the Marauders, but the charge lots, the Stalkers, they're just too much. hero drives him back with the sprint to Sky Toss and a decisive victory in Game 1. Maru willing to try out the battlecruisers, but the Yamato cannon, the iconic laser cannon, you shoot out of the Oh, I want to know what that game would have been like if he had that Yamato. It was so close going into that final fight. But the carriers just took out too many units, and Maru did not refill nearly quickly enough in order to compete. And that brings us straight into Game 2. hero up 1-0 going into Site Delta. Haven't seen Maru go battle cruisers in quite a while. Felt like we got a bit robbed there. But hero understands the map and the assignment. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to end it quickly, so he made sure to have the best army possible when the fight finally happened. And the storms on the Vikings, he didn't kill them outright, but he brought pretty much every Viking to around half HP. And there wasn't nearly enough time to repair while the carriers were still fighting. So the storms may not have won the battle, but they were a major contributor in helping whittle down that Viking count. Make it easier to eliminate the battlecruisers. Now, more conventional map. I doubt we're going to see anything really similar to what we saw in the previous game. As Site Delta is all about the ground armies. There's so much space. This is kind of there's the top and the bottom lane here. I'm not sure. The Reaper, not really a Reaper wall, but a Reaper toll booth there, which it has to get hit by the Adept, allowed to get a scout, get sent in. Hero being a little clever about it. Or he misplaced the barracks. I'm not sure which one it was. Or, well, hero didn't place any barracks, but gateway. You got it. You got it. Stuffs it at the door. You know, adding another gate really does make me think that was unintentional. The Twilight was scouted, so Maru got the relevant info there. A Widowmine on the way. Back to basics here for Maru. Looks to be a Widowmine drop to start, which can work out just fine against the Blink Robo. But Blink Robo does, essentially it's your middle-of-the-road choice. You have potential detection, maybe a Warp Prism. You can go for aggression, but you're not tied to it. The Blink Stalkers give you options. Hellion gets in. Rosa Probe makes the rest somewhat uncomfortable. Terran units have a tendency to do that. It's going to be 4 gates, indicating that indeed hero wants to get aggressive. He's got a Warp Prism on the way as well, in case it wasn't obvious enough. 4 gates is about the limit of early production, while still being able to take a 3rd base in a timely manner. This is, I want to keep warping in Stalkers as much as possible, and potentially do a deadly counterattack. Wow, this bare bones, but another medevac with 1 unit in it. Except this time the unit is a Widowmine, which actually probably has a higher potential than a single Cyclone. But at the same time, hero is heading across the map. Is there a siege tank? It's about to come out. Widowmine drop is heading in. Warps in Stalkers instantaneously. Widowmine drop darted in, was spotted by a pylon, and Maru backed off. Blunks in. Where's that tank? The tank was holding on the high ground. The bunker's already dead. Siege tank gonna remain unsieged for now. He may just blunk over the top. We'll see. The siege tank on the outer edge of the base here. The Stalker's finding the only place the tank can hit. Oh no, Maru! Bringing the Widowmine drop back. Does that select all arm? He blunks and just slaughters the tank. Exactly enough Stalkers. And, well, Maru just doesn't really have enough here, dropping out the mine. A very odd choice to bring the mine drop back like that, but it does end up doing some damage to the Stalkers. So it's something. 11 SCVs down. Damage has been dealt. It's not deadly yet, but Maru still has a very tenuous defense. One siege tank is not enough to cover both bases. And unupgraded Marines are also going to struggle. The tank pops out of the wrong side of history. Oh, he saves it! What a save! And just barely like that keeps the game alive. It's still dicey, but without that siege tank, this is devastating for Maru. He needs tanks to be able to cover one another. It's still bad. The Stalkers, the Warp Prism! Oh my, both players really struggling on both sides here. The tanks are closing in. Gets a big bite out of the Stalkers. Blinks to the side, but more tank fire. He already blunked. Oh my, he's gonna lose several more Stalkers. Oh my god, hero. It was a series of unfortunate blinks here. And he kills 5 more SCVs, but he ends up losing 8 Stalkers. Is that true? 5, in this fight is 5 of them. 8 total. The tank sieging up. Maru's still bleeding out. But the tank count is growing. A lot of those Stalkers are badly bruised. Alright, they're not big on taking straight up fights. That's why they wear a bandana to hide their identities. Also, they're called Stalkers, so obviously they don't thrive on direct confrontation. They blink first. Some real fancy blink micro. You know, scouting immortal, or just regular immortal for potentially killing siege tanks. Still going with the Stalkers here. Hero has the supply. No, my god, you cannot lose the prism! Oh, if I had $1 for every time Hero lost a prism at a very key moment, I would have several dozen dollars just this year. So that it's a trend. Okay, it happens too often. But is Maru too far forward? Charge is done. So many zealots, no combat shield. A couple Widowmines will burrow. That will help against the charge lots dramatically. Guardian shield is used. He has a couple sentries here. Maru is desperately trying to wait. The force fields are good. Or are they? It's unclear. Not sure who he's... Well, I guess he's zoned out a lot of the bio units. Maru is losing so many SCVs, though. Even if he's able to hold this attack, the economic damage has been done, and charge lots will be warped in again. Hero is just leaning on him right now. He's got 8 gates. He's warping in charge lots. A Widowmine drop is sent out. A Dark Shrine is on the way, because of course it is. Blinks in and just slips out after killing the tank. The charge lots are back for another pass. The Widowmine drop is going to have to go huge right now. And even then, is there going to be enough left over? That siege tank on the high ground will backstop the defense. But the mine drop needs to do terrible, terrible damage. 2 mines drop out of the 3rd. The Dark Shrine is spotted if Maru is looking. He's just waiting for it here. Gonna drop out again. Gets both mines at the natural. Oh, okay hits. 7 kills. It does get here. Okay. Well, it does get Hero to back off, but Maru looks around his base, doesn't find much, and says, you know what, that's enough. Game 2 goes to Hero. The blink play, enough to get Maru to tap out. Struggling to really find any success against Hero here. Maru has not yet been able to find that quintessential Terran fight, where you got the 4 or 5 medevacs, some ghosts, The Marine Marauder. hero is not letting it get to that stage. And he's finding success in locking Maru down. So we go into game 3. Yes, I can count. On Oceanborn. Maru in the top left, hero in the bottom right. Up 2 games. Maru really struggling. Hero with some quite fancy blink micro. He took a lot of losses, but when he nailed the blinks, God, it looks so smooth. With the blink away from, like, you fire and then blink as you take the shot. Projectiles still in the air. Cool guys don't look at siege tank explosions. Maru needs something. I don't know what the special sauce is that he needs to bring out for this occasion. But it's something. As hero has taken the initiative. And he needs it back. Command center on the high ground. He didn't actually build the barracks at the wall. But hero scouted early enough that he's going to see everything. He saw there was only 1 gas. He saw the barracks placement. Did Maru scout at all? He did not. Factory on the way. So Maru's still keeping those options. Ooh, the probe almost. Not quite. Twilight Council again for hero. Clearly a strong choice. Maru getting caught just a little bit late on getting the tanks out. It's always been a dangerous strategy, the early blink. Scouting Hellion. On the way. Starport as well. Blink is the choice. Widowmine. It was an odd choice to come back with the Widowmine drop that last game. It ended up helping to delay some of the blink. But I think the one Widowmine in their mineral line is worth 2 in yours, as the saying goes. Potentially getting that devastating damage done, especially to probes. Alien, just kind of... Oh, he got the block. So he may lose the probe who did the blocking. Adepts will make the Hellion very uncomfortable before it drives away. It's going to be Blink Robo again. If it ain't broke, do you really need to fix it? Hero thinks no. It's going to be... Looks like... 4 gates in total. Nope. I can't count. The timing is a little weird with Warp Gate finishing. Hellion taken down. No, 4 gates. I should have trusted my instincts here. I can do basic math. Citation needed. The mine drop on the way in. Observer coming out at a fortuitous timing, but that doesn't necessarily mean the mines won't find something. No blink. 8 seconds out means the medevac gets away. That's about as little damage as you could do while still maintaining the medevac and the mine. But one advantage of having that Widow Mine drop still exist, it anchors some of the stalkers at home, as well as the observer. So hero now has a bit of his supply back at home. This gives Maru a bit more breathing room to get more siege tanks, as well as get additional barracks online. But it's still going to be a warp prism on the way across. It's still going to be potentially blink stalkers inside the main. And he's throwing some adepts in, shading towards the natural. Adepts just maintaining their vigil. Oh, tries to drag the tank hit. Doesn't quite nail it. And now 2 sets of tanks are making this and saves the bunker. This is not going great for hero so far. And some auto turrets on the opposite side. And kill several probes. Hero pulls away. Wait, no, he doesn't pull away. He's losing probes at the main base. 4 probes down. 5 SCV is shaved off by the Blink Stalkers. Siege tank obliterates a Stalker. Sends it to the moon. And the auto turret may kill a Stalker there. Awkwardly. Oh, Blink in the main. The stim! Stim! A very important upgrade, of course. Denied. And now shaving off more and more of the Marines. And a nice smooth blink out. But oh my god, the Widow Mine. The Widow Mine came in. And more probes came out. Did he get out of there? No. 10 probe kills. So at the end of the day, well, it's not over yet. But hero's down to 37 probes. That Widow Mine brings things a lot closer to parity. And in fact, now it's on Hero to get more and more damage done. Maybe a fake stim there. He puts concussive shell on that tech lab. He puts stim on the other one. A smart move. Concussive shell helpful, but not nearly as important as stim. Will be denied. Another auto turret at the back. God, the probe damage. He's down to 38 probes. That's higher than it was before, but he just keeps losing probes. Oh, blinks into the main. Doesn't get the tank in one hit, taking a lot of damage there. Another tank. Hero really struggling to make progress. And look at the supply. Maru's holding the line here. Gets another Stalker. Tanks continue to siege up. There's enough medevac. 4 medevacs now. Which means the bio army, if the Stalkers are not focusing on individual units, the medevacs will heal. Hero has lost a lot of momentum here. This has not gone nearly as well as the previous game. But you can't really abandon this strategy because Maru, there's nothing stopping his momentum if you allow him to get out on the map. Right now, Hero needs to buy time until this Robo Bay. Did he go for charge? No. He did not follow up with charge. He's actually getting a lot of the SCVs here. 6 SCVs down. And just like that, here he's taken his third, and that 1 Warp Prism and 4 Stalkers getting about as much damage as the rest of the Blink attack combined. Sometimes it's the little things. A single Viking on the way. I'm sure I know where it wants to go. The Warp Prism. Stop right there. Sir? Sir, you are under arrest. Yeah, you and what army? 1 moment. I'll be with you momentarily. Viking is on the way. Yeah, it might be recall time. No, it's too late now. He's gonna lose all the Stalkers. No, wait. It's very close. $1 more, please. For a Hero losing the most important unit in the game with 4 Stalkers inside. Damn it, Hero. And here come the boys! There is no Colossus. There might be 1 done, but another Stalker down. Breaks the knees of a second one. Chasing it down. And Maru is rampaging across the field. Is there interference matrix? No, but without charge, the boys will eat a lot of the hits. Dorito dusting the Colossus. The anti-armor gonna help chew through most of this army. And Hero, I don't think the Prism would have made the difference, but it certainly didn't help. Shield battery overcharge is not enough. The Widow Mine burrows, obliterates 16 probes. And Maru strikes back. Hero flounders in the aggression. Maru bolsters his defenses. And Maru is back in it. Ooh. A much closer game. Hero not getting away with murdering so many SCVs. I can't believe he didn't recall the Prism. Once again, I don't think it was the defining moment, but a much stronger game from Maru. Not letting Hero get away with any of those mistakes. And we got a series on our hands. Hero 2-1, heading in to game 4. All right. Well. The blink, I don't think it was so much the choice to go blink, but this time around, Maru executed the counter pressure really well. The Widow Mine drop combined with the Raven, keeping herO's probe count down, keeping him busy, splitting his attention, and it's a double-edged sword as well. Like, any damage you do makes herO feel like he has to do damage as well, because you've committed a lot of your potential economy. You don't get a third base nearly as quickly if you're going for 4-gate blink with a prism. You simply can't. Those stalkers are not particularly cheap. So herO keeps feeling like he has to do more and more damage, and it spirals. Just unable to get the splash damage in time to deal with the momentum. Looks like a Stargate placement. Is it going to be? No, Twilight. Stargate was exclusive for Reticent Station. You know what? I don't blame him. Another scouting Hellion. Jeff. Taking a look around. His name is Jeff. 2 G's, by the way. Blink being chrono boosted, and now we see if the Hellion gets in. It will. The Hellion almost always gets in, unless a herO sets up the wall at the natural, like he did on, I believe, the previous map. But even then, that's something of a giveaway itself. Cyclone is the follow-up choice. Looks like the preemptive shade here to be able to poke at the Hellion. And Maru waits out the shade and then drives right by. He's going to get the scout. Shades are chasing. He takes a look around. Yep, that's Twilight. That's a couple more gateways there. The Robo, a little later this time around. Medevac should be out, which means aggression. You don't just sit by. You don't build a Medevac first to sit back. But instead, to send it out with something. Usually a Widow Mine, occasionally the Cyclone. Looks like it's going to be the Cyclone drop again, but he's not up against Stargate. So I am less hesitant at giving the nod of approval to this strategy, which is a long way to say I don't know why he went Cyclone when he knew a Stargate was on the field that first game. But here we are. The blink is done at the perfect timing, but just with the afterburners drifting his way out of the stalker range, just barely. Losing that medevac would definitely be a significant blow. Though, Templar Archives, a storm rush from herO? A dramatic, a committed, but possibly a smart play. As, well, certainly not expecting it. A patrolling sentry here for one of the first times actually living up to its name. Charge. And let's see the storm herO. We both know you want to go storm rush. You don't just go for Archons. That's not going to cut it. He's going for Archons. It's an Archon thing. Okay. I wonder if this is a reaction or the intent all along, but he does have the third base on the way, adding 4 more gates. Be 7 in total? Constantly scouting with the Adept here. There's the storm. That's what I thought. The fact that Maru's just sitting back. The longer this goes on, the less value. The War Prism sitting by.
Our SCVs.
Maru should notice it, but does he notice how suspiciously little tech there is? There's 2 gases at the natural that have been mining quite a bit. So, now with the Storm Prism on the way across. Soon to be Storm Prism. Sentry still. Sentrying. Triple drop is loaded up. Why not? Yeah, just throw him in the medevac. We'll see what happens. There is a Spylon on the path, but... well, we'll see. Look at the supply, by the way. hero. With really not that many units on the field right now. He's got 5 High Templar, 2 Zealots. There's not much of a ground army. The medevacs are spotted here. Maru setting up for an attack. He sees the High Templar. Gonna take out the Spylon. Stalkers warped in. Somehow he manages to leave a Widowmine behind through some odd math there. And the third base will be the target. But we're gonna see some pre-splits here. He's forced to storm, but the Marauders will weather it. Maru seeing the Templar this early. There's just not enough of a ground army to keep Maru from splitting. He doesn't have enough units to force Maru to respect them. The Storm only has so much radius here. Alright, looking to bring in another one, drops him out. Storms are good. Feedback on the Raven, but doesn't really kill almost any of these units. And now he sees the Stalkers move down, and Maru picks up and goes straight for the main, realizing the armies are pretty much entirely out of position. There's no energy on the main base. He can't recall back. Half his gateways are depowered. He goes straight for the Forge. The Templar Archives can go right after. The Warp Prism looking scary, but then he sees the Archons pop out. The tech tree is being absolutely gutted right now. Chopped down at the stump, or at least most of the branches taken down. And where are the Templar? Where are the Templar? They were merged into Archons. Hero. Well, he ends up taking out a lot of the units that Maru sent into the base. But at the same time, he lost his Forge. He lost his Robo Bay. And his gateways were depowered for quite a time, on top of losing a dozen probes. Maru lost bio units for the most part. The Raven as well. But he still has the medevacs, and he still has plenty of production at home. So even though Hero kind of catches up in supply, it's going to be with units that Maru can easily deal with. The upgrades, at least he got +1 ground weapons. Maru's got some ghosts on the way. The Widowmine drop comes through. A bit optimistic here. Well, there is a cannon, but that's never stopped the mines before. Another shot, 7 kills. It's dealt with, and now Hero, just like that, the worker count flips. 66 to 60. Maru in favor. Vikings and ghosts on the way. Zealots running by into the natural. There is a bunker, but nothing in it. Files in. Actually gets caught on a chew toy depot here. Those depots set up to prevent pretty much exactly this, but he actually has to raise them in order for it to be worth it. Single Zealot somehow gets into the main. Ghost couldn't snipe here. 5 SCVs. A surprising amount of damage. Those Zealots are actually kind of locked in. There is a wall set up. What? There are 5 Stalkers wandering in over here like creep waves coming out of Hero. He gets a depot, refuses to elaborate further, and slinks away. Typical Stalker move. Just now getting extended thermal lance. Finally catching back up in tech is Hero. But now Maru, he has no reason to sit back. His 2-2 upgrades are a long way off. He's got Ghosts and Vikings done. He knows he's slowed down Hero's tech, but that advantage is slowly waning. Oh my god. What a save there. The Observer spawns everything. Feedback. Maru realizes, yeah, indeed. Hero has a sizable army here. Couple Colossi. A third one on the way. Extended thermal lance nearly done. 2-1 closing in. If hero can hold for 30, 40 more seconds, he's going to have everything he needs for the next few minutes of the game. Those upgrades drawing in. Extended thermal lance will be first. +1 armor behind it. And then +2 ground weapons behind that. Fleet beacon is on the way. Reaching pretty far for that one. Vikings finding an angle over the top of the rocks there. The Colossi in a rough spot. The Stalkers can't do much to deal with that. Feedback gets one of the ghosts, but there are more where that came from. Scan. Oh, I'm trying to find that dead space. Knocks out the Observer. Very helpful kill. Believe there's still a Widow Mine. Gets another hit. +1 air weapons. It looks like hero wants to go for carriers. Which, quite a dramatic choice at this stage of the game. With Maru having already this many Vikings on the field. Well, we'll see. That mine's still going to work. The players do not see the logos, by the way. In case it looks super weird, it's for us to enjoy the great sponsors and supporters of esports here. That Widow Mine, not coming out of nothing. The way the game's set up, the players just have a normal map. Which means still the Widow Mine is invisible. Immortal picked off. Maru in a good spot, but he might be caught between a rock and a hard place here. Just a juicy storm opportunity, but hero not quite able to take advantage of it. Carriers in production. Down goes another Observer. Maru sharking around that lower ground. He's already got 9 Vikings, building 2 at a time. Not an insurmountable number. Widow Mine again. How many Zealots is that? He's got 22 on the field, and I think pretty much all of them heading south. An entire division of Zealots. A cult following of Zealots. Oh my. The Zealots charging into the bunker. Meanwhile, the SCVs. Once again, the depot is not raised. No funnel created. And hero? He actually recalls 5 Zealots out. I'm not sure about that one. You may want to save that for later. Trying to trade away some of the Zealots so he can use the carriers later on. But overall... Widow Mine? Oh no. Oh no, the Prism. More hits on the way out. The army just kind of there and back again. Widow Mine hits a Colossus. Where are the Observers? The Widow Mines just keep repeatedly chewing into the army. It adds up. Another handful of charge lots. At least they'll get the sensor tower, making the next handful of charge lots potentially more successful, as they'll be unannounced and uninvited. Well, the reason that they're uninvited is, of course, because they charge so much. In this economy? You have mules. Stop complaining. Hero, though, does have the lead. The carriers, Vikings, knock them down immediately. Carrier's a curious choice here. Really trying to get to that late game. Fusion Core is on the way yet again. Maru headed towards the battle cruisers, and I don't think he'll make the mistake of forgetting Yamato Cannon this time. It feels... Whoa, beautiful storms. And yes, Fusion Core! But I would be surprised if this game actually makes it to the battle. It feels like it's been so tenuous for so long. That Widow Mine, 2 kills. This one, 2 kills, just adding up. Finally gets it. There's the Observer. Pulls back, may lose the ops. Indeed he does. Advanced ballistics is the choice. Unfortunate. Aw. Well, does make more sense considering the Vikings are more than a match for the carriers. The advanced ballistics to help take out the ground army. The big threat are the Templar and the Stalkers. Stalker's a medium threat. Let's not oversell it. But advanced ballistics liberators could certainly do a number on it. Stalker's melting after the EMP. Maru's been able to keep up so much pressure. Forward missile turrets versus heroes. Carriers The fire support of the missile turrets looking just like my Dyson Sphere program run. The new combat update is super sick. You can check out my playthrough on the second channel. Completely shameless plug. What I'm trying to say is missile turrets and Dyson Sphere program can hit the entire map, aka planet, which I think is the buff we need. As long as they're in sensor tower range, they can fight. Very cool, by the way. Anyways, these missile turrets not quite as good, but still very helpful. Maru's forward missile turrets versus herO's carriers. Well, the carrier's not flinging out enough interceptors to start, but the storm's helping out a lot. Oh, the missile turrets almost killed the warp prism with the Templar inside. And now they're targeting the carriers themselves. There's a Widow Mine that can help. It's thinning out so many of the interceptors. There's only 18 interceptors left. He's running out of interceptors because of the missile turrets. Kills an observer. I think the turrets were worth it. Mothership is on the way. Oh, knocks down another carrier. Looking for more. And continues back. Caduceus Reactor. Medevac energy regen. About to complete. This game has gone on. It felt like it could tilt to either direction. Probably towards Maru, but either direction for quite a while. But somehow we've been drawn back. As Maru is not finding the engagement against the carriers he needs. And herO has the economy still back at home. But herO is, he's hurting at the moment for any real complexity to his unit composition. He needs the Templar. Maru is getting a better and better tailored army for dealing with what herO has. And as time goes on, as the Ghosts, Liberators, and Vikings come together, and his army is more and more focused on countering those carriers, well, that's a beautiful storm. Advanced ballistics, gonna keep the stalkers at bay. He has +2 ship weapons. Be able to wipe out those stalkers. What is this over here? Building more turrets. Mass Liberator. He uses active cloaking, but of course there's a scan. The Vikings fighting interceptors. The interceptor count dwindling. Yet again. A planetary fortress towards the center line here. High-sec auto-tracking and building armor being added on. We don't mind connects. But the ground army's still looking for the planetary. Storms across the front line. Not quite reaching the back, though. Where are the Templar? There doesn't seem to be any energy. Just stimming underneath. One more storm, it's not enough. The Vikings are chasing. The ground army, the Marauders are pounding the point home. The recall, but he's already losing. He kills the mothership. It just evaporates. The Vikings knock it out of the sky. Only a couple carriers and a Colossus get out. Oh my god, the Bio Army is so low, though. The Colossus shield battery overcharge. Widow Mine's hitting. I'm not sure who more of, but enough of herO for Maru to take it home. What a brutal game. Oh my god, that was a filthy mess. A fun one, but a filthy one nonetheless. herO losing 9,300 gas to 4,500. Teching up that fast is just asking to grow too far and get cut down, I feel. He clearly wanted the carriers. But Maru had more than enough of a ground army to keep control of the situation. So herO kind of sprinting from the Blink Stalkers up to the carriers and getting winded halfway through. Especially when the medevacs flew in and cut down a bunch of the tech. So that brings us to Game 5. Been a hectic series so far, but it all ends. Well, assuming it's not a draw, but we're going to Alkyo. Maru versus herO. Could be a GSL Finals, a World Championship, or another incredible match at DreamHack Atlanta. But hopefully you've enjoyed my commentary. I always forget to try to slip it in. The shameless plug. Before the actual end of the video where everybody's already tuned out, let's be honest. They're going to see who went. Nope. And then complain. But thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. It's been a fun series. Though a bit of a mess. I'm trying to keep up. I feel like sometimes with these two, I like to pride myself on kind of predicting how the game is going to go and commentating around that while still making it entertaining. But this is all over the place. Hero plays this kind of seesaw tech style that he'll either go for all the early aggression of the late game, whereas Maru, a bit more methodical about it. He's using a different style of Terran versus Protoss than, well, players like Clem nowadays. The Cyclones are all the rage. I mean that in both the popular... Oh my god. So there's a vision blocker, but he can see him around the... Peekaboo. He's trying to sneak around. Oh my god. Alright, Maru will take it for now. There's an Adept on the way. It's going to be a Stargate to bookend this series. Starport as well. A Stargate will be spotted on the high ground here. There is that employee entrance. The employees being Reapers on the side. The Zealot, of course, finished here and managed to avoid getting killed by the Reaper with that fancy footwork in the Watchtower area. Of course, Maru's command center spotted. Phoenix versus... Oh! Hey, folks. Yeah, Depp, we're going to go back and forth on this some more. Another medevac. He is building the clones. No NG. Another thing I gotta point out is no NG bay blocks. Another thing that has become more and more popular. The engineering bay block on the Protoss Natural, in order to either force them to take a third or delay their Nexus. So that way you potentially make a devastating follow-up attack, usually with Cyclones, which can really exploit any sort of divided force. The Cyclones, I mean, that's their whole thing. They lock on and kill. So the engineering bay block is somewhat costly to start, but the follow-up, there's a lot coming across the map here. The whole team. 10 Marines, there's the medevac. Widowmine hidden inside. Hero thinking about a third base here. But Maru has a lot going on as well. He's gonna try... This is to kill the Reaper wall, it seems. There's the Widowmine. Let's see if he can drag out a hit. Or maybe dodge it. Now, Widowmine burrowing mid-fight. Does he kill it? He does. Very important. Cyclone drop down. Taken out. He yanks back one clone. Dodges. Viking doing a lot of damage. Cyclone still locked on. Takes out the Adept. Looks like Maru gets the better end of the early exchange here. The Viking gets some shields back. Sips on a shield battery. Down goes... Well, down goes the Phoenix, but so does the Cyclone. Gonna try to take out the pylon at the Reaper wall. Hero is supply blocked when he lost the pylon. Oh my god, no. Oh, wait, he actually juggled too early. The Phoenix comes out. Not targeting the pylon. Okay, it's very important to get that pylon if possible. Oh no, down goes the backpack. Up goes the Cyclone, but not the good way. And the Marines get a Stalker. They won't stop fighting, but wait, there's more of the Liberator at the back. He's just gonna try to, wait, no, he's target firing probes. At this point, why bother leaving? I don't know. Wow. An absolute fiesta to start things off. Let's see. A medevac, a Liberator, 3 Cyclone. This is one of those you can't really tell by the units lost, but instead by the state of the game. And what is the state of the game? Maru doesn't have Barracks 2 and 3, and he's building his third command center on the low ground. If this gets delayed, I don't think it will be. He really needs to finish this. Okay, he has that third CC done. Immediately gets out of that. He has tanks. hero has a Colossus and more Phoenix on the way. He's not going to get this base. The command center is too much HP. But Maru's production is pretty severely delayed. But hero didn't have a ton going on for himself. So I'd say a slight advantage hero. Because he does have his tech. He does have... Oh my god. Not if he loses 2 Immortals. If he loses 2 Immortals, rarely is the advantage yours. Slight advantage hero because he had his infrastructure and his tech already up. Now Maru is adding stim. Now Maru is adding combat shield plus 1/1. And the third base is done for hero momentarily here. Even though Maru has that third command center and more SCVs, the map control and the unit composition are very good for hero. So, again, it's going to come down to Maru's timing and whether he's able to find a fight, ideally, before the Colossi are so high. Oh my god, this watchtower is... It is, you know, it's cramped. They don't believe in social distancing around that watchtower. Here comes Hero, trying to take an aggressive defense. A scan, but he took the other base. No, the orbital! What, you gotta repair? Oh no! Oh, this is disastrous! Oh no! It's a disaster. Maru! Well, that changes everything. That third orbital was incredible. Maru doesn't know about the other third from Hero. But Hero does only have 50 probes, so... Maru working off imperfect info, but I don't think it's the end of the world that he doesn't know about the third at the moment. But that was... Essentially, Maru sacrificed getting his barracks in a timely manner to get that command center, and then he just didn't repair it. All right, not gonna. This is why we don't buy new. We buy used command centers for you, Maru, because see what happens. Get a brand new command center. It just crashes and burns. There are Phoenixes out there. Where are you going? Come back here. There's a Colossus army at your base. Somehow, an entire whole ass army shows up. Here comes this. Wait, who's flanking who? So wait, Hero is now the one in retreat. It's far too late to recall. He might be able to get the Colossi out. Wait a second. Maru's army is massive. Hero gets himself trapped in the base. The interference matrix will run out. There's still 2 Colossi. Well, the Marauders are splitting and stimming. 10 SCVs down. This started out pretty great for Maru. It ended... Well, he's out of anti-air, so now the Phoenix is in one of the weirdest fights I've ever seen. Is there an armory done? No, he could just pick up the mines, but there's another mine. All the Marines died to the Colossi. The last Colossus tucked into the Warp Prism. Another command center coming down. I don't think the Phoenixes are going to get this one. But Maru able to smash the army for the most part in between his natural. And the army had out on the map. It looked great for Hero, but he kind of walked into the concave. Wow. And it looks like despite everyone's best efforts, we're going to be going to a relatively even mid-game. With the Phoenixes still sharking around. Oh, we don't mind. Connects. Knocks the Phoenix out of the sky. Blink and +2 on the way. Maru just now starting an armory. A severe delay between his 1/1 and his 2/2 upgrades here. It's been a hectic time. His army's still looking good. Sending out some units. Just kind of throwing him almost every which way. He finds the Phoenixes. Joining up with the rest. There aren't that many Marines here. A scan. He finally spots the other base. Vikings and Ghosts. Wait, did Maru see? He did not see the proxy gate, though I don't know how relevant that's going to be. Of course, if Maru's stuck on the other side of the map for too long. Ground weapons level 2 is now completed for a hero. Once again, hero sees the army moving out, is going to move to try to intercept. Maru has a solid army composition, but he needs to bring it to bear correctly. If it comes in haphazardly, we could end up in the same scenario. Well, the Marines are dead, and the Phoenixes are able to clear the field, though unlikely with Ghosts out for that to matter. Hero, gotta be very careful about overstaying his welcome here. Not again with the prism! Maru has a dangerous army, but Hero, he gets the Guardian Shield off. Looking to fight. There's a lot of Widow Mines. Knock out some of them. Gets one Ghost. But Hero is... He's a bit of a paper tiger right now. He doesn't really have the unit count, and the upgrades +2 attack is not enough to counteract an army that gets EMP'd with a concave on the open field. Maru has a clearly better army right now. Hero waltzing in towards the tanks. And the Widow Mines, he's trying to drag him over the top to marginal success. The EMPs are enough to drive Hero back. Maru still holding on, I think trying to keep up till those upgrades. And Hero just keeps knocking out the door, so not too much opportunity to send out. Maru does see the gate on the other side, where he's taking his 4th base. A planetary is being built there. Neither player really acknowledging what's going on over there because there's too much going on in the front. A disruptor has been added into the composition. Could be devastating. He held on to his shot, and massive hit. The center mass definitely got some Ghosts in there, and a lot of the Marauders as well. 15 SCVs down on the front line. Maru just trying to win this fight outright. The Disruptor dies as well. The Medivacs are out of energy. Another Disruptor actually clips the front line too. Some Immortals underneath that help out a lot against the Marauders. Down goes the Prism, but it did its work here today. And somehow the fight ends about even. Maru might be able to chase down some of the Immortals, and that definitely will tilt it in his favor. But he lost 20 SCVs. He pulled the boys in the front. A bit of a questionable choice, but it may have tilted the battle just barely in his favor and done enough to keep Hero at bay. Oh, wow. Another devastating battle that ends in a bit of an ambiguous result, as neither player is at a clear advantage here. Hero keeps attacking, trying to force Maru into a mistake. And for the first time in quite a while, that first Disruptor hit found a devastating blow. Just hitting the center mass, the juicy center of the Bio army. But Maru, not eating really anymore. And there weren't too many to call back on. God. Man, what a slugfest between these two. He's got a Disruptor at the watch. Oh my god. Wait, where's the rest of the army? It's just the Disruptor and a Zealot. The weirdest buddy cop movie. They're both very wary of each other. The Disruptor wary of the Zealot because it's fancy blades. The Zealot wary of the Disruptor because it could explode and slaughter him in a single hit. Equally valid reasons. Maru picks up. I believe that wasn't Watchtower range, though. He may have just barely... No, he's scrambling back. Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah, well, the mineral wall will actually keep him on the other side of things. A scan in the center of the map will catch maybe some of the units heading back. Hero is on the chase. Maru picks up, and he's heading home, actually. A scan for observers. That gateway is still up there. He killed the pylon. Okay, he killed the pylon. A lot of this game has been a story of wondering which side is actually where during all of it, as multiple times the army's caught outflanking one another, almost accidentally. But hero winding up for another attack. He's got the stalkers. Oh. Still burning his way forward. Disruptor shot takes out the mine. Third base under fire again. Colossi starting to go to work on the SCVs. Disruptor chases down, gets a mine and a couple more SCVs. Hero starting to add up the wins. Maru's supply is dwindling, but the warp prism and the SCVs from the north side eat a couple volleys from the Colossi. EMPs here, and the Disruptors, where are they? They find a hit, a huge hit in the center mass. And the Vikings might take out the Colossi, but Maru has actually lost so much to the Raptors. 28 SCVs down. Hero has 2k minerals in the bank. He just now spends it. He's got Zealots and Disruptors on the way, but Maru lost so much economy in that fight. He keeps winning the battles, but he's losing the war. +3 infantry weapons about to complete, but the Marauders are getting cut off by the Blake Stalkers here. 2 Raptors at a time. Hero, not a bad move to keep leaning on him, especially since the Vikings were able to hold in that battle. Disruptor shots. The Zealots, like, are you really serious about that one? And again, Maru was driven back, but this time Hero has 150 to 92 supply. The army supplies are about even, but for how long? The Disruptors, the Zealots, the army supply is still so dangerous. Look into, it curves them into the mines. The bomb has been defused by another bomb. The Zealots into the third base. Maru cannot afford any SCV losses. Scouting Disruptor taken out. Loses a few more, and they've come up swinging half a dozen times, but this time around Maru clearly struggling. The center of the map. Again, it looks like the armies are going to be going opposite directions without realizing it. Maru losing the planetary here, and he just taps it out. His army in the middle of nowhere, unable to pull back. And this dramatic series will end as abruptly as it began. Hero takes it 3-2. Wow, what a slugfest between these two. Maru not quite able to pin him down. Having a tough time finding that late game army without losing the economy. And Hero, well, just throwing things at the dartboard and feeling like and hoping it sticks. And this time around, the dart was a purification nova, and the board was half of Maru's army. So it seems like it worked out well enough for him. A hectic, chaotic series. And you know, sometimes those are the most fun. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Thank you for watching. We've got the means of motivation. Check out Patreon, YouTube membership. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free for now. And checking out recommended. And autoplay is amazing. If you feel so inclined. YouTube says that's a big deal. So thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay chill.